So let's talk about something we all think we know inside and out, water. But we're going to look at it from a totally different angle today. Not just as something to quench your thirst, but as a secret anabolic agent. And yeah, by anabolic, I mean something that literally signals your body to build more muscle. Let's dive in and unpack how this actually works. We have all had this day. You know the one. You walk into the gym, you're amped up, you're ready to crush it, but for some reason, the empty barbell feels like a 1 rep max. You feel weak, you're dragging, and you have no idea why. Well, the answer might be way simpler and honestly, way more powerful than you think. Get this. Scientists found that being just 1.5% dehydrated, that's so mild you probably don't even feel thirsty yet, can drop your 1 rep max on the bench press by over 5.5%. So what does that mean in the real world? It means your hydration isn't some minor detail. It's a make or break factor for your strength. That tiny bit of dehydration could be the difference between hitting a new PR and just feeling completely flat. Okay, so how on earth does plain old water have such a massive impact? To really get it, we need to zoom in, way in, all the way down to the level of the individual muscle cell. We're about to talk about the pump, but not just as that temporary feeling of looking good in the mirror. We're talking about a powerful biological trigger for actual muscle growth. You know that feeling when your muscles get all full and tight during a good workout? The technical term for that is cellular swelling. See, as you train, byproducts like lactate start to build up inside your muscle cells. This acts like a magnet, pulling water into the cell and causing it to swell up. But this isn't just about feeling bigger for a little while. This swelling actually puts physical stress on the cell wall, almost threatening its integrity. And how does the cell respond to that threat? It kicks off this incredible anabolic chain reaction. The physical swelling literally trips sensors on the cell's membrane. This, in turn, activates the master regulator of muscle growth, a complex called mTORC1. Now, you can think of mTORC1 as the foreman on a construction site. When it gets that signal from the swelling, it basically grabs a megaphone and yells, "Go!" kicking off the entire process of building new muscle. So yeah, the pump isn't just a side effect, it's a direct trigger for getting bigger and stronger. And this right here is the tale of two cells. It perfectly lays out the two sides of this coin. On one hand, you've got the hydrated, swollen cell. It's in a pro-growth or anabolic state. It's ready to build. But then look at the other column, the dehydrated, shrunken cell. It does the complete opposite. It flips into a catabolic state, turning on pathways like FOXO that actively break down muscle tissue. The takeaway here is huge. Your hydration level can literally flip the switch in your body between building muscle and tearing it down. All right, so we've established that staying hydrated is absolutely critical. But that brings up the next obvious question. What exactly should you be drinking? You might think a liquid is a liquid, but trust me, the science tells a very, very different story. Let me introduce you to a really cool metric called the Beverage Hydration Index, or BHI. Researchers developed this to scientifically rank how well different drinks actually hydrate you. It measures how much of a drink your body holds on to 2 hours after you drink it. Plain old water is the baseline, with a score of exactly 1.0. Anything with a higher score, it's better at hydrating you than water. And the results are, well, they're pretty surprising. Just look at skim milk, clocking in at 1.58. That means your body retains it way better than plain water. Why? Well, the combination of protein, sodium, and lactose in milk actually slows down how fast it leaves your stomach, so your body can absorb it more gradually. This also busts some major myths. Check out black coffee at 0.99. It's basically identical to water. So that old idea that coffee is dehydrating? Yeah, the science just doesn't back that up. This chart really drives the point home. You can see it laid out plain as day. There's water, our baseline at 1.0. A sports drink is a little bit better, thanks to the electrolytes, but then look at skim milk, just soaring ahead of the pack. Now, this doesn't mean you should start chugging milk in the middle of a set, but the lesson is clear. The nutrients in a beverage play a huge role in how well your body actually uses that fluid. But this whole story isn't just about what's happening in your muscles. The effects of dehydration go straight to the top, to the command center for your entire workout, your brain. And this is where things get really interesting, because it's not just your body that gets weaker, your mind does too. Let's circle back to the hard data. In one study, when athletes were properly hydrated, they could bench 118 kilos. But after losing just that tiny 1.5% of their body weight to dehydration, their max plummeted down to 111.4 kilos. But here's the wild part. Just 2 hours after they rehydrated, their strength shot right back up, almost to where it was before. This shows a direct cause and effect link between your hydration and your central nervous system's ability to fire on all cylinders. So what is actually going on in your head? Well, dehydration literally makes everything feel harder. Your RPE, or rating of perceived exertion, goes through the roof. That 100-kilo squat now feels like 110. Your focus and concentration, they tank, which is not only bad for your lifts, but it seriously increases your risk of getting hurt. Your motivation just evaporates. It's because dehydration messes with key neurotransmitters, bringing on that feeling of central fatigue way sooner than it should. So given all this, you might be thinking, okay, I get it. I just need to force feed myself water all day long. But not so fast. That leads us straight into one of the most stubborn myths in all of health and fitness. That whole 8 glasses a day rule? We've all heard it, but it's not really based on any solid science. Here's the part everyone seems to forget. The original 1945 recommendation that started this myth had a crucial sentence that got lost over time. Most of this quantity is contained in prepared foods. And that's exactly what you see here. A huge chunk of our daily fluid, up to 30%, comes from the solid food we eat. Think about it. Fruits, veggies, they're packed with water. Your body even makes its own water, called metabolic water. So focusing on some magic number of glasses is missing the bigger picture. Okay, so let's tie all of this together into a clear, actionable game plan. It's time to move past the myths and use real, evidence-based guidelines from organizations like the American College of Sports Medicine to build a proper strategy. This is the pro-level protocol. Let's walk through it. First up, pre-training. About 2 to 4 hours before you hit the gym, aim for 5 to 10 milliliters of fluid for every kilogram you weigh. And here's a pro tip. Add a little bit of sodium. It helps your body actually hold on to that fluid. Next, during training. If your session is going longer than an hour, sipping on about 150 to 350 milliliters of an isotonic drink every 15 minutes or so is the way to go. And finally, post-training. This is crucial. For every kilo of body weight you lost during the workout, and you should weigh yourself to know, you need to drink 1.25 to 1.5 liters of fluid to replace it. Adding sodium and protein to that drink will supercharge your rehydration and kickstart recovery. So I want to leave you with this thought. Stop thinking of hydration as just drinking when you're thirsty. Start seeing it for what it is, a foundational part of your training. Your water bottle isn't just some accessory, it's a performance tool, every bit as important as your lifting belt or your shoes. And the real question is, are you using it strategically to unlock your true anabolic potential?